Hello, hello. This is my artifact episode number 2777. Today's date is 14th March 2023. It's almost like a night at 11 p.m. All right. Oh boy, I just ate my dinner. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you, this morning I make artifact episode, and in the artifact episode I was talk about that the whatever the life choices that I make in my life. Okay, and if I didn't really what is the life choices? Life choices means like that. There's some of the things that I decided that I wanted to include or not to include, like making this artifact episode. Okay, like basically, like in the morning artifact episode, what I did is that I just predict a future that what if that I didn't really started or I didn't really make any artifact episode. So what would be my life? So I predict something really very great future. Okay, but it's not good. Okay, because it's really not. Okay, because of that came, like I talk about things, like if you wanted to know about what I talk about such thing, it's just the previous artifact episode. I everything I talk about this thing, read it this. Okay, today what will I do is that today I will predict some sort of life choices that I make in my life. And what is the life choices? Okay, so first of all is that na ki it's just like that ki after my diploma I went to Nagpur. Okay, so if I didn't really went to Nagpur, what will happen? Well, actually is not. Okay, actually is that ki after the end of my diploma I really wanted to away from my home. Okay. And at that time, I get that opportunity that I have to go to Nagpur for get a job. Okay. So it's just like that. Ki I wanted to do this thing and I did this thing. It's just like there is no kind of like there is no option that I don't want to go in Nagpur. No, I it's just like that. If my Atya and Mamaji don't really offer a job, I still I can figure it out and I will went somewhere else. Okay, but yeah, I will not stay in home at that time. So this is not a life choices. This is that I will do it. Okay, whatever the thing it is, I will do it. Okay, so this is not a life choices. Okay, then another life choices is that I decided to not to do job in Khaparkheda, and I have to improve myself. Okay, I have to work on some sort of cubicle or things like that. So what if like that I decided what if I what if I just decide that I wanted to work on Khaparkheda. So what would be my life? So obviously is that na it would never be happen like that. Okay, okay, let me tell you one thing, what is exactly the life choices. Okay, so whatever the choices that I make in my life, that choices is make by me. Okay, and also one thing is that I understand myself a lot. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to tell you if I decided that I will not leave the Khapar Kheda, what would be my life? Obviously it was really pathetic. Okay, and I never really liked that in any universe or anything at all. Legit not. Yeah, because of that na ki my whole intention was get out from the Khapar Kheda. Okay, so that's why I switch. I just quit it and just like I just get some sort of classes, other design classes. Okay, So that's a really really important. Okay, even if the question is that ki what if I didn't really quit the khapar khada, this is not a question. This question will not be generated, because my whole intention, my whole body and everything wants to me to not to do a job, not to do a job in khapar khada. Okay, so that's why, just like, even if that would happen, or that if like such thing will not happen in that time, but after some sort of time I will do it, I will did it. Okay, so whole intention of the point is that, okay, let me tell you one thing. The beginning of the point is that ki, what if I didn't really make any artifact episode, what would be my life? Okay, so basically is that making an artifact episode and not making an artifact episode, I can predict the future. Why? Because of that, ki I didn't really know what would be my life if I was making an artifact episode. At that time I didn't really knew that. Okay, so I can easily predict the future. As also, artifact episode is not actually kind of like a putting something that ki actually a big change. Like artifact episode, the changes is happen in longer period. It does not happen in just couple of months or couple of years. No, it just didn't really happen as also. Okay, so that's why the question that I make, that ki, what if I didn't really make any artifact episode, I can predict the future very easily, because everything is actually is kind of like a something that ki हाँ चलो ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, ये is that thing, it will be happen. Okay, but is that कि some of the life choices that I make, because of me, because of that कि I understand the what it was like, the decision that I took, is this because of that कि I understand all the possible result, and this is the way that I found it, so that's why I did it. Okay, like basically this is not kind of like a true or false question. Like basically I found the all the possible result that this decision requires a true, that's why I went true, not to false. Okay, so it shouldn't be kind of like a decided that ki what if. No, it didn't really, it doesn't work that all. Like basically now, if the question is actually arise that ki what if I didn't really quit the khapar kheda, so what would be? So basically I have to change my entire personality. Entire, what is personality? Personality means entire me. Okay, the person who is actually living with this question and predict the future, that person will not be me. Yeah, because of that ki I know myself. Okay, and I understand myself, and every time, every universe, on every kind of like a life choices, this is the life choices that I did, and I already did. Okay, even if not that time, but in the future it will be did it. Okay, so it's a very, it's not that thing. All right, so living a khapar kheda is really kind of like something. Okay, what if like in the PMI, okay, what if you didn't really quit the PMI? I didn't really quit the PMI actually. The COVID is actually happening. Okay, let me predict a future of that ki what if the COVID didn't really happen. Okay, so what would be my life? Okay, this is the predict, this is the future that I can predict. Okay, first of all is that the COVID would not happen, so what would be is that ki my office is constantly running. Okay, but but actually is that ki in March 2020, okay, my office is actually very much lagging. What is actually lagging? Lagging means in the office we don't have that much work. Okay, like basically na, in January 2020 I get a gap of almost like a 10 day to 20 day, 15 day, I get a gap. Okay, gap means kind of like a leave, paid leave. Okay, yeah. In before that, almost like a November 2019, I also get a gap for a week. Okay, not just only me, or entire office get a gap. Okay, because of like we don't have that much project. Okay, so since we are not involved the COVID situation, so what would be, so basically is that ki, March, like from the beginning of the 2020, we don't have kind of like a something really big project that that kind of like include all those peoples and do all the work and things like that. All right, so basically, during kind of like a beginning of the 2020, okay, my office was kind of like a developing the employee, developing the skills and things like that. So that's why we are actually developing lots of skills, like constraint, then animations means like that ki, in the design industry you have to animate. It's kind of, it's not, it's animation means not a cartoon. Animation means it's an animation, but it's a kind of like a something really explain the kind of like a mechanism in animation format, so that is called animation. Okay, then also assets building. Okay, asset building is also really important. We are actually, we don't have that much project, so that's why we are building those skills to make something really even bigger, make something that key valuable for the company and things like that. Okay, and as also one thing is that my company is actually production modeling of India. My company is actually extracting some of the people who is not actually kind of like really good in the in the company, good in the skills. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. In the August 2019, yeah, I still remember, in August 2019, uh, the employee who is actually hired after me, they got the permanent, and I didn't really get permanent in my office. Okay, so it's actually very much hit me really hard. It was like that key, I did lot of effort and things like that, but still I didn't really, I didn't really I am not a permanent, so I feel really bad, feel something that really pathetic. And at that time I realized that ki, I have very less period of time in my office, and any time the company will kick me out. Okay, so I realized that. So in the November 2020 I started taking kind of like a classes about filmmaking, script writing. These classes I started making, taking these classes in Nagpur. Okay, and this classes is good, okay, but not that good, kind of like a something really basics. Okay, so I wanted to quit the I wanted to quit my job, but I cannot, because it just like it's a lots of things. Because obviously if I quit a job, that means I am unemployed, and if I unemployed, that means uh, I have to be survive on my parents. Okay, as also I plan that ki I have to get a job in Bombay, but it just like that ki I did lot of interviews and things like that, but anything it didn't really work out as also. Okay, so since this COVID is not gonna happen, maybe March, April, May, June, at the middle of the 2020 na, I was actually very much kind of like basically my mind and stability is not really work out. Okay, my mind is actually very much kind of like something that key, I just wanted to quit. Okay, it's this kind of like a really emotional harassment, because almost like a 2.5 year I was working there, and as also I am not getting any permanent, and there's lots of things. Okay, like basically now, after I did this job, I realized that ki my body and me, I am not meant to be. I am not meant to be kind of like a doing a job. Okay, so it's but still I was doing a job because the COVID is not happened. Okay, So I was very much frustrated. Okay, so sooner or later, maybe in the 2020 or in the middle of the 2020, I will decided to quit a job. Okay, and I wanted to pursue filmmaking. Okay, so I wanted to predict the future here. So obviously is that ki should I take that decision, like a, do I have that kind of like a courage that you should ask your father that ki will your father spend money to Bombay, and if you do struggle on Bombay, so like basically do you have that courage? Well, obviously, at that time, I will have that courage definitely, because at that time now my momentum was really strong. Okay, and I just wanted to do my things as passionately as I can. But at that time, I was don't really have money, so obviously I have to rely on my father. So, so if the COVID is not didn't really happen, I will talk to my father and says that ki, father, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do filmmaking and I wanted to go to Bombay, and I need almost like a 1 lakh rupees from you so that I can survive for 6 months in a Bombay. Okay, and obviously I will went to the Bombay, and 6 months I will do kind of like a something really any work at all. Okay, and I will start earning any money in the production house and anything. Okay, so let's just predict the future that if the COVID was not happened in the 2020, at the end of the 2020, I will be in some sort of a ad agency. Okay, I decided that I wanted to go to the ad agency. Okay, and I will do it some sort of kind of like a something really labor work. What is labor work? Labor work means like that ki bring this, bring that, bring coffee, whatever it is. Okay, so it's a kind of like a something really labor work, but it's just like I am starting earning little bit of money so that I can survive in a Bombay. Okay, so uh, so the journey will be start at 2020. Okay, as a kind of like a in ad agency, and uh, okay, I cannot predict after that. Okay, because I didn't really experience that thing, but maybe the things will good happen. If the COVID was not gonna happen, then obviously I will do a job in Bombay. Okay, just little bit, whatever it is. Okay, whatever the money I get, mostly the job are related in to the film production. Okay, and the struggling part was kind of like a something that included in this thing, but I can easily manage because at that time I have that momentum. Okay, because I already lost my job and I am taking money from my father. So basically is that key, it's a very worse situation for me. So that's why I am kind of like doing all those my, I am putting all those effort and everything for making things, making survive in Bombay and try to do kind of like a filmy and things like that, do in film industry. So that is I wanted to do. So so I will start doing work in ad agency. Okay, some sort of a film and everything. Okay, and maybe it will took me almost like a 10 year to be to 10 year for kind of like a pitching my binary code movie to the film producer and everything. Okay, and then somehow I will have a get a chance to make a movie in binary code. And binary code like this is the dream that I wanted to be. Like I written the script in 2017 when I was working in Khaparkheda. I was written the script about the entire binary code, what would be happen. This movie was really great. Okay, so this is the future, and I'm actually putting all the baby steps to make that future reality. And At this time in 2023, March 2023, uh, I will be in Bombay. I will be living with flat with almost like a 10 people in it. I am actually doing kind of like a something really kind of like a job in production office, and I am earning kind of like a, some sort of decent money. But the future is also really great, because in the end I wanted to be filmmaker, and it will be a filmmaker. So this will be happen if I was if the COVID didn't really happen. Okay. So yeah, this future was really good, because in the end now I will become a filmmaker. I will become this function. Okay. But dude, is this kind of like a really easy, that like basically, let me tell you one thing, that key, if you are thinking that key, if you went to Bombay and if you have 1 lakh rupees, so how will you survive this thing? First of all, is that having a 1 lakh rupees in Bombay, can you survive for 6 months? Well, actually, yeah, yeah, things are really rough, because 1 lakh was really less amount of money to survive in Bombay for 6 months. Yeah, but still you can survive. Yeah, I can say that ki still you can survive that, like afford kind of like a flat that like you, almost like a 10-12 people was there. Okay. And obviously is that ki, let me tell you one thing, that ki, being in Bombay, being in Mumbai, so having kind of like a lots of opportunity. Like, let me tell you one thing is that ki, like right now, in the Wardha you can see so many people, so many employees is unemployed. Okay. They didn't really get any job in Wardha, because Wardha is not kind of like a metro city. We don't have that much kind of like a that facilities, right? But in the Bombay, in the metro city required lots of people. Okay. So is like at that time na, the Bombay required lots of people, and anyone easily can get a job in Bombay, easily. Just like you are, if you are living in a Bombay, yeah, you can get a job almost like a 10,000, 15,000, whatever. Okay. And you can start doing things. Okay. So I am actually very much kind of like a confident. Yeah, things are really rough, because earning 15,000 rupees in Bombay is kind of like a, is not for good for survive and things like that. But still I can manage this thing, because I have that much amount of money that father is putting me, and as also I am earning some sort of money. So yeah. And as also one thing is that at that time I have kind of like a momentum that ki, I wanted to be a filmmaker. Okay. So for that momentum, yeah, I can easily survive this thing. Yeah. In still 2023, things are really rough. Things are, yeah, definitely rough, but I can easily manage some of the things. And after the 2023, or if I predict this timeline to the future, that key, in the end I will be a filmmaker. Yeah. Like binary code, I can predict the future, that key I will definitely make the binary code. After that I cannot predict the future, because whatever, it's a completely entire different timeline that I didn't really know, because I didn't really experience, because all those things I am predicting this thing, I didn't really know what will happen. But one thing for sure, that I will definitely make the binary code in that timeline. All right. So this future is really great. Why don't you choose to be like what is it like? COVID is actually very much affect. Well, yeah, like basically what is actually happened. Like just an example is that ki, when the COVID happened and I lost my job. Okay. At that time I have a spark. Okay. And I wanted to go to Bombay very desperately. But at that time the entire Bollywood industry is actually shutting down because of COVID and things like that. I was actually calling them. They says that ki, we don't have a vacancy for a year. Like basically like they says that कि yeah, if you come to the Bombay, yeah, okay, you are welcome, but we cannot give you job. And obviously is that कि you cannot get a job in Bombay, in specifically in film production. And obviously because of COVID and things like that, everything was completely shut down, legit shut down. So that's why I decided that ki, let's just stay in home, work on your craft and creativity, make a short film, upload short film on the video on the YouTube. And then the COVID things, and then, but why don't you like after the COVID, like just right now, like this is the after the COVID, right? So why don't you go to the Bombay and start doing this thing? So I can do that, yeah, I can do that. No, I cannot do that. Why? First of all is that na कि I understand the potential of the YouTube. Also I understand the, or understand the what is it that the YouTube will happen. Also is that कि at that time in 2020, March 2020, when I lost my job, I have too much spark. Okay, the momentum that I'm actually talking, and having that momentum, that means like you have kind of like a you are actually kind of like survive. The things are really rough. Okay, so at that time I have that momentum. Right now I don't have that momentum. Yeah, I just not, because of that na ki if the rough situation will happen, I was actually very much scared and things like that. Okay, so at that time, no, right now I cannot do that. Okay, that is the main important thing. But will you get money from father for 1 lakh rupees? Yeah, obviously I can get, because yeah, it's kind of like a something really different, but my parents will understand that, and they will give me 1 lakh rupees, and then I will went to Bombay. But right now it didn't really happen. Yeah, if the same thing happened, if the COVID didn't really happen, then I will be in Bombay and things like that. So this is really good. Predict the future. Yeah, it's really great. Let's jump back. That COVID is happened. Yeah, COVID is happened. Everything is happened, and you are starting doing this YouTube. Okay. At that time, I didn't really know. At the beginning of the 2020, beginning of the 2020 March, I was actually understanding the all the because at that time COVID is happened. Okay, and I wanted to be a filmmaker, and being a filmmaker is like at that time you just have to make a short film, upload a video, upload that short film into the YouTube. So this is my first priority. All right, so I was making things and everything. All right, so, and as also the things are same. Okay, till August 2022. August 2022, I decided that कि I wanted to be YouTube. I wanted to be YouTuber, and let's make kind of like be a filmmaker. Let's be make a travel films. Okay, that's I decided that, and I was actually making videos about the filmmaking in my YouTube channel. Okay, so but the beginning of 2022, specifically I'm talking about beginning, yeah, February or March. Okay, February, let's consider as a February 2022, you decided that you are switching from filmmaking to gaming. What is exactly the, what if you didn't really switch from filmmaking to gaming? If you are stick to the filmmaking, what would be the predict the future? So uh, first of all is that na, if I stick to the filmmaking, what is the future that I'm predicting is that ki, mm, I seen so many okay, filmmaker in the YouTube. Okay, I'm talking about in the YouTube industry. Okay, those are the filmmaker. They are putting lot of good work. Okay, very amazing short film, really great. amazing filmmaker. I was some of the people I following, Peter McKinnon. Those are kind of like a American, US. In Indian, Ankit Bhatia. Then also another filmmaker is anything. I don't know. This name is very different. All right. So why don't like let me ask you this question is that ki why are you not making videos about filmmaking? What is the problem? What is the problem happen in the filmmaking videos in the YouTube? So at that time na, right now it's just very far away na, so I can understand little bit of things. All right, first of all is that na ki I wanted to be a YouTuber. Okay. And I wanted to earn money soon as possible. Okay. But at that time my mentality was kind of like a something that ki don't really cannot find what is exactly the content that I'm actually delivered. Because let me tell you one thing, it's the beginning of the YouTube now. Okay, finding a content or creating a content was really difficult. Yeah, it's bit really difficult. As also delivering the content in specific period of time is also kind of like something really difficult. Like it took me almost like a 2 weeks to make a video. Okay. So it just like that, it didn't really very much far away. If I just started a kind of like a making videos as a filmmaking since August 2022. So I am still making these videos, nothing will happen. Okay. Yeah, my channel will be kind of like a something that ki monetize, but I will not earning any money. Okay. Yeah, it will take time, same as a gaming. Okay. So but in the gaming now, what is exactly is this thing, the future I cannot predict. Okay. In the film as a filming as a filmmaker in YouTube industry, what would be the future that would be? Okay, first of all is that okay, I am making videos as a filmmaking. Yeah, it's very much tough, very much stressful, but still I decided that and I have stick to that. So I am keep making these videos about the filmmaking and things. It took me almost like a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. After the 3 year I am after 2 year I am earning kind of like a satisfied amount of money from the YouTube. And still I'm making the videos, and this journey goes on. That's it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So this is the journey. But in the gaming now, why I switched to the gaming? Because of that I can deliver content very quickly, almost every day. Okay. Yeah, this is really important. Also another thing is that I have kind of like a very much creativity for delivering the gaming content. Because of that, the content that I'm using is a gaming that is already publicly already people are actually very much known. Okay. So it's just like that, okay, I can see so many possible result of gaming industry. So that's why I'm switching to the gaming, because it's not giving me so much stress. Like basically for the making of the movies of filmmaking, making of the videos about the filmmaking, it gives me so much stress. Okay. And that's why I decided to switch to the gaming, because I cannot handle the stress, legit not. Because if I'm actually carrying the stress again and again and again and again, it's just kind of like a you have very lack of motivation. I understand myself that ki some people have too much motivation inside of them, so they can survive this YouTube journey and things like that. But if I'm actually kind of like doing this filmmaking things, I it's very difficult for me to survive, because in the end there are so many things. First of all is that na, in the filmmaking YouTube video filmmaking YouTube video career, okay, requires money. Okay, lots of money. Like first of all, I decided that travel filmmaking, obviously I have to travel, so it required money. Where should I get money? From my father. Okay, this is the also one thing. Making videos is also kind of like a also stressful. Okay, and since I am making videos and still not getting anything, my father is also like, if this thing is not actually working out, then why should I give you money and things like that. So it's a lots of things to do. So that's why I switched to the gaming, because in the gaming now I don't have to rely on father's money. Yeah, yeah, obviously is that I can make easily make a video without any father's money, and I can do lots of creativity than the filmmaking. Okay, but still it's a YouTube journey. It required patience and hard work. So that's the whatever the career that you choose as a YouTube required patience and hard work. So that's it. So as a filmmaking career in YouTube journey, still as a kind of like a earn money, make videos, earn money, make videos. Same thing go with the games. But in the game, I have kind of like a future that I am doing it, but I am not telling about this thing in the artifact episode because it didn't really happen. Okay, and when will it happen? So yeah. So usually what I'm trying to tell you, कि I talk about every life choices that I did in my entire life. Alright. So it's just like that, na, that whatever the situation right now I am in, is that कि this is the most believable possible result. Believable possible, what is that, is this mean? Is that na कि like it's not that कि if you didn't really did this thing then your life would be like this or your life would be like that. It's not. It just didn't really happen. Like basically ना, बहुत लोग ऐसे सोचते हैं ना कि शायद if I didn't really make any artifact episode so my life would be like this. No, it's not. Because of that now let me tell you one thing. Okay, I started recording artifact episode at 8 February, 11 February, sorry, 11 February 2015. But before that, 9 February 2015, it was very difficult situation for me. My friend are actually says me lots of bad thing about me. I am feel really bad. As also I came home, my parents are actually shouted me because of studies and things like that. So I was very much deeply hurt. So that's why I started making this artifact episode. Okay, this situation is happened. This is not just only situation. Let me tell you one thing. At the beginning of the 2015, my resolution is that I wanted to record artifact episode, but I cannot make it because it didn't really push me. 9 February 2015, the situation is happened. That situation put me to make this artifact episode. All right, what if that situation didn't really happen, but somehow after the 9 February sometimes will be happens, like basically at that time I was actually very much struggling through lots of things because I am studying, my subject is backlog and things like that. So if I says that ki if I didn't really started artifact episode at 11 February, I will start artifact episode after 11 February, maybe March, maybe May, maybe somewhere kind of like a feels that I am alone and I just need something, or maybe my situation is not really right. Instead of 11 February, I will start artifact episode at 19th May 2015, or maybe yeah. Like let me tell you one thing now. It's not about the things that you didn't really did it. I was planned about this artifact episode since I saw the avatar. Okay, like everything is connected, na dude. Everything is actually very much connected. Okay, so like this is not a life choices. The life choices that I did is actually making me kind of like something really better. All right, better for the future, better for yourself and everything. All right. So every life choices that I make is kind of like a meant for me, okay, meant for my greater future. All right. So this question is not really arise that ki what if I stick to the Khaparkheda's power plant, or what if I stick to the PMI, or what if, no, it's not. I didn't really stick to the PMI office because I didn't really wanted to do a job. I was kind of like a very much hurt. Lots of things happened because at that time my emotionally unstable. It's just very fucked up situation at that time. Okay, if the COVID didn't really happen, I will definitely quit the this job. Okay, so it's not a thing that will not be happen. It will happen, like not this time, but after some sort of time, it will happen. Okay, so it's just not like you cannot, like basically now predicting a future. Okay, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I can imagine such thing, everything, but in the reality now it didn't really work out that well. Okay, because you shape your life. I shape my life. I shape my life, that what would be my life. Since 2016, my life is actually shifting from lots of phases and things like that. Okay, I did lot of life choices after 2016. All right. So so right now, whatever the situation I am in is actually very much perfect situation. Okay. So don't be a doubt in yourself that ki, if I did this thing, or if I decide to not to leave this job, my life would be, it's not. Okay, try to be understand that whatever the you are right now is actually all because of you. Okay, and try to be believe in that fact that कि बारिश हो गई यार शुरू. It's not that thing, yeah, it's just legit. It's just like that ki what does people think, what does not people think, everything is matter to you. Okay, and all the life choices that you do is actually best for you. So don't be doubt. Okay, just be focus on yourself, and that's it. Okay, the the what is the other timeline would be really great, like basically if COVID didn't really happen, so right now I will be kind of like a filmmaker. No, it's not, because the challenges is always become, every times comes. What if I went to the Bombay and things is even more fucked up? What if would be? Okay, like same thing I experienced that when I went to the Jaipur. Okay, I was actually like in the corporate world now, you have kind of like a little bit of freedom that key you have to do this, but in the creative field, what do you mean by in the creative field? Obviously you will get freedom. No, 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 no. As a creator gets a freedom. Under the creator, the people who is actually under the creator who didn't really get the freedom at all, you cannot get it. Okay, like basically is that key, if the director is wanted to make a movie, obviously under, if I'm actually working for him, so basically I have to follow all this protocol, all those rules, all those imagination process he was thinking, I have to follow that thing. Okay, sometimes even worse. So the problem is always be there. Fixing a problem in right now, or fixing a problem in after some sort of time, but you can fix the problem. Like you cannot ignore that problem. The problem will come in some sort of time. If you ditch this problem right now, this problem will come after some sort of time. Okay, so it is not like that key, if I ditch this problem then my life would be like this, or my life would be like that. No, it's not. This is that not actually work out as well. All right. So basically you are saying that ki everything is written, like somewhere some sort of god is actually written your life. I am not actually, I didn't really know is this god is things like that. But let me tell you one thing, I decided that what I wanted to be in my life, okay, and I am doing it by myself, okay. So if there is someone who's actually believing that who is actually written by someone and I am following this thing, it just no, it's not. I am not believing such thing, because the choices that I make is by me. Yeah, sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's really not good, but it's made by me, okay. मेरी लाइफ की कठपुतली किसी के हाथ में नहीं है. I am actually deciding that thing, okay. So predicting a future is kind of like a, हाँ चलो आर्टिफैक्ट एपिसोड में ये सारी बातें कहने के लिए, बोलने के लिए और सुनने के लिए थोड़ा सा अच्छा लगता है, बट इन द रियलिटी इज नॉट, it is not, okay. Like okay, let me tell you one thing, why is this thing is actually happened, okay, and why I'm actually predicting the future about the life choices that I make, okay. Yesterday I watched a movie about everything everywhere at once. In that movie there is a person, okay, who is actually did some sort of thing in her life, okay. She went to, she leave her parents house, went with her boyfriend, started life, and the life is actually, yeah. So basically this character named Evelyn in that movie, okay, the whole movie is based on her life choices, okay. What if she didn't really live with her boyfriend, then what would be her life? What would be she did this thing, what would be her life? It's kind of like a really that key, it's not. It's a movie. There is some sort of character who is actually writing a things, but in the reality it's not. In reality it doesn't work that well, okay. like I don't know yaar, let me tell you one thing, it's just not, okay. लाइक आप ऐसे प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते कि भाई एक भिखारी है, एक बंदा है, जो मैं ऐसे लाइक इफ आई एम प्रिडिक्टिंग दैट कि दिस इज द गाय, ओके, इसके 50 साल बाद, यानी राइट नो हिज एज इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 12 years ago, okay, 12 years, and after the 50 years he will be a beggar, or he will be a film star, or he will be a prime minister, or he will be something really don't real, or maybe he will be die, okay. What would be, I cannot predict that, okay. If I says that कि हाँ चलो अभी इस बंदे को अभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनाना है, so this is the path he has to follow, no, it's not. The guy who is actually 12-year-old, who is actually decided that what would be and everything, as also the surrounding and everything is actually impact on his life, and that's why he's choosing ability what would be great for him and everything, all right. But you cannot be kind of like a switch from as a beggar to a prime minister, no, it's not. ऐसा जादू कभी होता नहीं है, legit not. As a person who is actually taking baby step by step by step by step, and then things happen, yeah. Just let me tell you one thing that ki um I am in the YouTube journey, I am getting very less amount of views, 20 views, 50 views, 70 views, 100 views, 200, max to max 500, okay. But it's just like my average views I get is 10, 20, 100 views, okay. But everything is going really smooth, as the YouTube views get little bit of higher, 100 to 200, 300, 400. I'm talking about average views, okay. Right now my average views is 100 views. The average views after a month, 200 views, 400 views, 500 views. It takes step by step, okay. After the 500 views I get kind of like a something really very big, so I my average views get from 500 to 1000 views, from 1000 to 10,000 views, 10,000 to 1 lakh views, okay. You cannot get from 100 views to 1 lakh views. No, you cannot get. You will get from 100, 200, 500, 1000, then something that 1000 to 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 1 million. Step by step things happen. You will not get from 1 views to million views. You will not get that. Not even the kind of like algorithm, not even the natural, not in anything at all. Okay. आप ऐसे कभी सोच भी नहीं सकते कि भाई मेरे को एक अलादीन का चिराग मिल गया एंड आई जस्ट स्क्रैच दैट एंड आई सेज दैट कि भाई मेरे को दुनिया के सबसे अमीर आदमी बना दो. It happened in the stories. It not happened in the real life. Real life, if you want it to be success, things happen slowly. You have to be patient. Also, you have to put effort, and things happen slowly. You have to be patient for doing this process. Believe in process. Understand the process, and then somehow you improve your skills and things like that, and obviously you will get even much better. Okay. दुनिया में जो लोग है ना, मैं ऐसे आई डेंट रियली से दैट कि यू कैन नॉट गेट फ्रॉम ज़ीरो टू मिलियन. Obviously some of the people are who's very lucky, they are get from 0 to million. Yeah, I'm not talking about views, I'm talking about anything. Okay. Anything 0 to million. Like I know that some of the people get from 0 to directly a million, but they can fall down from a million to 0 very easily. Yeah, very easily. Like their growth is not stagnant, they are actually fall. Just they up, just down, fall. Okay. Important thing is that if you wanted to be a successful, yeah, you will be a successful. Then you have to stick to that successfulness. Stick to that kind of like a became a successful, and always be a successful in your life. Okay. Try to be a that person, not to be kind of like a went from 0 to million and million to 0. Not to be that. You are not that lucky, and even if that lucky, no one will really get it. All right. So be focused, be understand yourself, be focused on yourself, be know yourself that what you wanted to do. Okay. Predicting a future, what would be, is kind of like a something really good with the things, but no, in real life. All right. Yeah. So but the conversation was really great. Yeah. So this is the my artifact episode number. What do you do after this? I have to schedule my gameplay. Yeah. Thank you.